The WNBA offseason has turned into a storm of speculation, and right at the center of it all stands Caitlin Clark, the rookie who's no longer just a rookie. As free agency looms, ESPN and insiders are buzzing about who might be leaving the Indiana Fever. But what's stealing all the headlines is how Clark herself has quietly shifted the balance of power within her own franchise. For the first time, fans are witnessing a player who's not only transforming the game on the court, but also rewriting the rules off it. And the question echoing through every locker room and front office right now is simple. Is Caitlin Clark just the face of the Fever, or has she become their architect? It started with whispers, a few tearful goodbyes, rumors that Lexie Hull was packing her bags and that Sophie Cunningham's future with the team was hanging by a thread. Fans braced for heartbreak, thinking the Fever were about to dismantle the chemistry that carried them from the bottom of the standings to playoff contention. But then came the twist. Caitlin Clark stepped in. Reports began circulating that she had personally spoken with Indiana's front office, making one thing clear. Sophie and Lexie were not to be touched. They weren't just teammates, they were her people. And just like that, what looked like a simple off-season decision became a defining moment in the evolution of the WNBA's new superstar. It's easy to forget how rare this kind of influence is, especially for a second-year player. Clark's quiet insistence wasn't some dramatic power play. It was a move born out of trust, loyalty, and an understanding of what makes teams truly great, the chemistry. Fans saw it all season long. The way she'd drive the lane and kick it out to Lexie in the corner for a clutch three, or how Sophie's relentless energy sparked the team when things got tight. That kind of connection isn't built overnight. It's built in bruises, late practices, and those unseen moments when one player refuses to let the other fall apart. Clark knew it. She wasn't about to let management tear that apart over cap space. Social media, of course, spun the whole thing into a soap opera. Headlines screamed that Clark had saved her friends from being cut, as if it were some act of defiance. But that misses the point entirely. What Clark did wasn't rebellion, it was leadership. She wasn't flexing her power for attention. She was protecting the core that made her team functional. The Fever, after all, hadn't been relevant in years before she arrived. One season with Clark, and suddenly they were selling out arenas, landing primetime games, and being discussed on every sports network. The franchise had been reborn, and Clark was the heartbeat. When she speaks, the front office listens, because now her influence reaches far beyond the court. Lexie Hull's situation revealed just how much that influence matters. As a restricted free agent, Indiana technically held control over her future, but rumors swirled that they were hesitant to match offers from other teams. That changed when Clark showed her support publicly, leaving a simple but powerful comment on Lexie's post. "So proud of you." It wasn't a goodbye, it was a message. It was Clark's subtle way of saying, "I've got you." And Indiana got the message loud and clear. When Caitlin Clark publicly backs someone, it's more than a show of friendship. It's an order wrapped in loyalty. Sophie Cunningham's case was even more complicated. She's known for her toughness, for speaking her mind, and for defending Clark when no one else would. That kind of player doesn't always sit well with executives who prefer quiet compliance. There were whispers that the Fever wanted to move on from Sophie's boldness to avoid distractions. But Clark didn't hesitate. She made it known, Sophie stays. Think about the weight of that. The same player who had been dragged online for standing up for Clark now had Clark standing up for her. That kind of reciprocity doesn't just strengthen a locker room, it defines it. In truth, Clark's decision saved Indiana from itself. Letting go of Sophie or Lexie would have fractured the team's chemistry and alienated fans who've grown attached to their fiery bond. It would have sent the wrong message. That loyalty doesn't matter. Clark's intervention prevented that narrative and turned potential backlash into praise. It wasn't ego, it was foresight. Because Clark isn't just thinking about next season, she's thinking about the legacy she's building. And make no mistake, this was a power move. Every major decision the Fever make now, every trade, every signing, every marketing plan, revolves around one question. How does it affect Caitlin Clark? That's not favoritism, that's business. Clark isn't just a player, she's an economy. Her jersey sales alone rival entire franchises. Her games consistently draw national attention. She's the reason the Fever went from an afterthought to a headline. When you carry that kind of influence, you've earned the right to shape the future. Critics will call it favoritism or say she's overstepping, But anyone who's watched sports long enough knows this is how dynasties are built. LeBron James did it. Tom Brady did it. Michael Jordan did it. The greats always find a way to align their circle with their mission. Clark just happens to be doing it earlier than anyone else. And honestly, it's refreshing to see a young star understand that building a legacy means surrounding yourself with people who believe in you as much as you believe in them. Her actions also send a powerful message to the rest of the WNBA. In a league where players often feel like replaceable parts, Clark is showing what true player empowerment looks like. She didn't make demands on social media. She didn't create chaos. She simply stated what she needed to succeed: stability, chemistry, and trust, and got it. That's the mark of a leader who knows her worth and understands how to wield influence responsibly. The timing couldn't be more crucial. The WNBA is heading toward one of its most uncertain off-seasons ever, with a new collective bargaining agreement on the horizon and financial tension rising across teams. Players are watching closely, wondering who will stand up for them when things get messy. And right in the middle of it, Caitlin Clark just showed them how it's done. She proved that loyalty still has a place in professional sports, even in a business driven by numbers. The Fever's choice to retain Sophie Cunningham and Lexie Hull might look like a simple roster decision on paper, but it's far more than that. It's a statement that Indiana is done rebuilding from scratch every year. They're choosing continuity, chemistry, and culture over cold analytics. And it's all because one player had the courage to speak up before the system swallowed up what made them special. Caitlin Clark isn't the general manager of the Indiana Fever, not officially anyway. But practically, she's the most influential voice in the room. Without her, this offseason could have gone in a completely different direction. Instead, it became a turning point. She's not just changing how the Fever operate. She's changing how the entire WNBA views leadership. So when next season tips off, the Fever won't just be playing basketball. They'll be showcasing what happens when talent, loyalty, and vision align perfectly. And at the center of it all, Caitlin Clark will be there, not just as their star player, but as the architect of a culture built to last. Now, what do you think? Was Caitlin Clark right to use her influence to protect her teammates, or is this the start of a slippery slope for player power in the WNBA? Should management always bend to a superstar's wishes if it means winning? Drop your thoughts below. And if you're loving these deep dives into the drama, legacy, and evolution of the game, don't forget to like this video. Subscribe for more stories like this, and hit that bell so you never miss the next chapter in this incredible journey.